Welcome back to Someone Call Someone. Today I have someone that I've called a lot. And we've talked about everything from like spiritual chats on the Sea Point Promenade to like coffee catch-ups where we spilled a lot of tea. And today we're going to unpack all of that and more on the podcast. So without further ado, I would love to welcome my friend Raisa Dorat. Raisa.
Let's get comfy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Welcome to my podcast.
Oh my gosh. Firstly, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is huge.
Also, it's like my first podcast that I was ever on was your podcast that you actually
Throwback.
did. What a throwback. Raisa is the one who introduced me to this game. And it was actually our Special Effects Media podcast because that's where we met. Mm-hmm. Raisa and I met at Special Effects Media where we were both working. You've recently, this year, you're now at Amazon. And we can't wait to hear more about that. And also, I mean, you're a runner. Can we just touch on that? Like, how cool. Raisa's ran the Cape Town Marathon twice. Not even once, but twice. And she was an Adidas crew runner and overall just like a friend who has really inspired me a lot in life.
Diva, stop.
That's what we're going to talk about. So speaking of how we met,
okay,
right?
Let's do this.
It would be cool to know what our first impressions were of each other. Because like, yeah.
Okay, do you want me to go first or do you want to go first? Well, you came after me, so maybe you go first.
True, because you were like part of the
family.
Space. You were part of the family, and then I was new. So first of all, okay, these are my first impressions. I was like, oh, she's cool. She has a great fit to the office every day. Slaying.
I'm honored.
If there were an award, there was an award for
so.
Best office fit. It would have been you.
It wasn't though. It was Alex.
Redo those awards. It was rigged. Anyway, so yeah, my first impression was okay. Like, no, genuinely though, I was like very ambitious, very determined, like very on it. Like you actually intimidated me a little bit because you were like, you knew your stuff, and I was like, she is mean serious business, and that's why the corporate fitted in with that because you take yourself seriously, you know. But then also I realized like we're ridiculous on the inside. Honestly. Like I love that. Like then you were like, guys, let's get lunch together. And then that's when the ridiculousness came out, which I loved because it was like we're like, oh, like you have a great sense of humor, like, and you're honestly like such a loving person, like a nurturing person for your friends. Yeah, so that was like the first impression was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like boss bish. Am I allowed to say that? I don't know. And then it was like, oh my gosh, she's such a genuine, kind person.
Oh, thank you. That's like so sweet. Honestly, it's like crazy how we've been friends for so long and this is like the first time that I'm hearing how you perceived me.
Yeah.
Which is like so interesting. But like really same for me. I think you joined and from like the very first time you spoke in status, I was like, oh, she confident. And I think that's like where the actress personality comes into place. Like you can really hold, you know, like show up and be the best version of yourself, and like no one will like see beyond that. Like I think like you really show up and really like, you know, put on a really good like what's the word? I wouldn't say like show, but like it's hard to say like, oh, is this her natural like way, or is she very nervous, you know? Yeah, so I always thought you were super confident. Also the way you spoke like was very like kind of soothing in a way, not in a weird way.
Oh my gosh, I should do a meditation.
Yeah, you totally should. And I was like, oh, I love the way you like articulate yourself. But then also you were in production, so we never really got to work closely together.
Actually, yeah.
But I remember there was this one time where I was like, please can you save me a seat at the office, because the office was getting super
Oh
busy,
yeah.
and it was like the later you came in the day, people would like take up all the space, and then there was nowhere to sit. And so I was like, please save me a seat, I'm coming in later. And you
Yeah.
saved me a seat. And I was like, oh, she a real one. So she's confident,
I'm
but
a
she's
real
also
one.
a real one.
Real.
And then what I really liked, and I think that like really solidified the relationship for me, and I don't think you find this a lot in corporate, is that like you actually asked for advice, for a second opinion. And I love that you came to me and you like wanted to brainstorm, you wanted to hear my opinion on the way to approach projects. I think we were speaking about like that content playbook for something, for a project that we were doing.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that you kind of looked to me in like as an expert in the field, which I
Yeah.
like, you know, always learning,
Yeah.
so never really an expert. But that for me really showed that like, oh my gosh, you're like super interested to learn, you value my opinion. And that kind of changed everything for me, I think, because like it's hard if you're not in the same team to kind of build really solid relationships. And I think everything changed from there. And I was like, okay, well, you're my new bestie.
Instant besties. It's like if
Instant.
you reserve a seat for someone at the
Yeah,
office,
that
that
shows.
shows. But I love that you touched on like two amazing things that we talk about a lot. And like the one thing is like female dynamics, especially in the
Oh
corporate
my gosh.
space, or like yeah, in business, and not even just corporate. I think in workspaces
Yeah.
in general, like information sharing and like yeah, I always did see you genuinely as an expert. You're someone who still inspires me a lot, and
Oh,
like
thank
even
you.
though we're always learning, I think it's so great to like respect the opinions of the people around you,
Yes,
especially
exactly.
female perspectives. And I knew that like you were in the game for a long time. Like I came in as an actor, and I had a lot to learn, and I loved that you were open to me asking you questions
Oh,
and sharing that information.
it's
Like
crazy.
yeah, when I needed strategic advice, I would put it in your calendar and be like, like I'm figuring this out. And I think like it's so important to ask questions when you have
Exactly.
questions, and
100%.
also for people to give you the idea that like their door is open to you,
100%.
and you can ask this. And like so yeah, it's a bigger conversation that we've talked about a lot, of like just women in general and not having that competitiveness. And like we could talk about this in personal capacities as
Yeah,
friendships as well, and also in work. So I want us to touch on
exactly.
both, because it's like, especially being Indian females.
Oh my god, I was gonna say, let's add one more layer on that.
Yeah.
And people of color, like women of color and the brown
Yes.
community in South Africa. Like, that is, yeah, a very interesting topic that I want to get into.
And we need to get into it
Exactly.
because I feel like growing up as well, and we talked about this, like I struggled with like female friendships in general, but particularly like making friends with other Indian females, where I, I would just kind of feel, I don't know. Like I never went. I always went against the grain. I'm an actor, like I was never like doing things that other people typically did. And I felt like quite isolated from the community, and I felt like I wasn't like understood. I didn't have a place in it. And then yeah, we spoke about the fact that we have like kind of a lot of male friends as well, because it's just like less of a. It doesn't feel like a competitive space. You're able to like be yourself, and also like kind of be, I don't know. My feeling was like I'm able to like be in my power, and no one sees it as like intimidation. It's
Exactly.
like there's a seat for it at the
Yes,
table. Yeah.
exactly.
I don't know. What is your experience
100%.
on that?
Yeah, same. I think that for me, growing up, I have two older sisters, so I always grew up in like a female household where like females were, the majority. Shame my poor dad, the only man in the house. And then
I love
going to
that.
school, I grew up in Joburg, and I went to an all-girls school. So it's like natural to feel like it's very competitive because you're like
Yeah.
competing against, your school friends. Everyone, like my school in particular, was super like, high standard of academics, of sports. So like from day one, I was kind of like playing between the lines of like fostering a community amongst females and female friendships, but then
Yeah.
also not letting it get so competitive where like every single person and every single female is competition. And it's so
I
hard in
love
high
it.
school because you're still like figuring out like who you
Yes.
are, where you live, like where like your space in society. So high school was a very interesting experience, but I am very grateful for the female friends that I had in high school. And then going into university, so being surrounded by so many females in high school, then moving into university, things like really flipped for me, and I was like only had male friends, and I was like, this is like so strange because I feel like there's no like balance. Like I'm not striking a
Yeah.
balance between having a good mix of like females and males. And so I was only friends with guys. And also like the degree that you're in, and like, you know, kind of like wanting to be the best in the class, again going back to like high school days. But then literally in uni, so I moved from Joburg to Cape Town, I was like really seeking community, because I feel like, you know, in first year you're like figuring out, and like you're kind of like floating. Like I never really had like a
Oh yeah.
structured like solid group of friends. I think that came in third year. But then I met like amazing people at uni who are still like my long-term friends, and like I still really cherish them. But then yeah, was really seeking community, so then I joined a running community, and that's also like when sport comes into place. I feel like as females, running is a very like masculine sport, you know.
Yeah.
So like that masculine energy was just like heightened,
Within.
because it's like
Yeah.
majority men, like, you
Yeah.
know, everything's competitive, you want to do well in races. And so it's like kind of been a never ending cycle. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, only like we've had these conversations, but literally,
Yeah.
like, only I think in the last year or two, I've really been trying to like focus on the feminine and bringing more feminine energy in through like female friendships, the kind of like the way your clothing and how you dress in sport. Because I love sport and I play sport like all my life. And I feel like when I'm running versus when I'm doing Pilates, I feel like I'm literally going from like very masculine energy to very
Pilates
like pink
princess.
princess,
Yeah.
literally. It's insane. It's so crazy. So I'm always like juggling between the two. But Kat, you've been there since like the last few years, and you know the feeling of like, how
Yeah.
do you like, you know, oh, I don't know. It's such a tough conversation
It's
of like,
navigating the two
yeah, it's
worlds.
navigating
And
it.
I think you touched on something so important. Like we're so multifaceted, and
Yeah.
like one thing that we've established is like, and something that I realized as well is like we're very well balanced with our masculine and feminine energies on the inside, and sometimes people don't actively tap into that, or they're not maybe aware of the fact that those exist. And like
Yeah.
in different spaces you're going to tap into different elements of that, like in work, in like different types of sports that you're
Exactly.
doing, or like different groups that you're in. And same here, like I feel like yeah, like I was, like when we met as well, I felt like I was very connected a bit more to like maybe a masculine energy within me, because I felt like I was just like very like, I don't know, like I didn't tap into my soft girl era yet. I was
Yes.
like very driven, very like ambitious. Like life was
Exactly.
hard. It was like a hustle, and I lived for the hustle.
Yes.
And I love that. I think there's a space for that. But then I also realized like I was surrounded by like a lot of male friends, and like yes, it's great to like have that mindset, and it's a very chill space, but I wanted to like be understood deeper and like explore my feminine a lot more. And yeah.
And I want to add to that.
Yeah.
Don't you think that like working in corporate and
Yeah.
like working in like tech and stuff, like, you know, females in the space, you just have to like, you
Yeah.
know, like there's been such a history of like females having to work harder than males, and like the kind of
Yes.
industries that we enter. But corporate like really puts you in your masculine, because
Yes.
you're trying to
To
be
be
the,
taken seriously,
yeah.
to not be that girl with the bow in her hair. Like literally. I mean, still
I'm
be
just
that girl.
thinking about it like now that I'm in
Literally.
like big tech. Oh gosh, like if you are ever seen as a girl with the bow in your hair, like I don't even know what people will think, but like it's so it shouldn't be like that.
No, because we're trying to be taken seriously, and
Yeah.
we look very young, clearly.
Baby faces.
We didn't ask for this. We're grateful, but we mean business.
Yeah, standing on business.
Standing up business. You're not clocking it. Like,
Oh my gosh, that's
real.
hilarious.
Yeah, literally. But I also wanted to say, like, I feel like I was able to learn a lot from you because we have that similar balance where like that's also why we didn't actually see each other as like competitors,
Exactly.
because we're both strong in our own right, and we
Yes.
understand what we each bring to the table. There isn't that like
Exactly.
underlying like insecurity which leads to this like competitiveness. There was a
100%.
thing of like, oh, we're genuinely stronger together, like you're not a threat to me
100%.
and I'm not a threat to you. And oh, I just like, I really hope that we can like bring more of this energy,
Yeah.
especially into corporate spaces, because like the generations before us, I don't blame them. Like it was an even more male dominated industry. So they had to fight for like a seat at the table, and they always saw it as there's only one seat at the
Exactly.
table. We have a lot of seats now. So like, I hope we can open up that to like, let's be like a girl's girl.
Exactly. And my thing is also like, I think that in general, a lot of females, like you think they're your competition because they're moving in a similar direction as you. And I think what really stood out between us is that we were so different. Like we
Yeah.
both like you can see like the way like what Kat's wearing, what I'm wearing. Like we're so different, but yet we come together so well. And that's like honestly like the biggest lesson for me is that like your your path to success, your career path, your like kind of like your journey is so unique. Like I doubt there's another single female out there who has exactly the same goals as you.
No.
And it's like something also that I experience in tech all the time is that, and I think in marketing in general, because we're kind of both in the
Yes.
space, is that it just seems like, you know, it's just like so like competitive. Like
Yeah.
everyone's just trying to like one up them, one up their like, you know,
Yeah.
colleagues. And it's not like that. Like think about your colleagues, think about people in general. Like every female I know does not have the exact same dreams and goals as I have for my career, for my personal life. So at the end of the day, like no one is your competition, you know? And
Yeah.
we just have to like kind of debunk the thought that like if you are in a similar industry or like with a female friend that is the same
Yes.
skin color as you, it does not mean that they're literally trying to like, you know, one up you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I love what you said. Like, it's been actually so beautiful that we're like able to be like similar yet different and like
Yes.
complement each other so well.
100%.
And like, yeah, like it's almost like we've become even more powerful in that way
Exactly.
by like learning from each other.
100%.
It's like same
Exactly.
person, different fonts, like as they always say. Like,
Yes.
embrace your font,
I
you know?
love that. I love that so much.
Literally.
Yeah.
So, and I love that. But I also want to touch on like uh we were saying about being friends with a lot of males. I feel like I also learned a lot from them in the fact that like I was able to, I don't know how your experience was, but I felt like especially recently with being around more males, I was able to step more into my feminine with being around masculine energies, but obviously I think it needs to be the right, like a healed masculine, not like yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
What was your experience of that?
Actually, it's been the opposite for me.
Oh,
Like
interesting.
initially, when
Yeah.
I'm with all my guy friends, I'm like very much in my masculine, like, you know, trying to like,
Oh
because
yeah.
we all
Be with
play
the
the same,
bros.
yeah, all with the bros. We play the same sport. We kind of like, you know, they work in much more of like the finance tech space. So
Oh,
industry wise, we're very different. But like, yeah, you know, I feel like I was more in my masculine, and then only like recently, in the last few years, 2 years, I would say, have I become a bit more conscious of my feminine because people have actually pointed it out in
yeah.
small
And we pointed it
ways.
out in each other
Yeah,
as
and it's like the
well.
smallest things that I'm more conscious of when I'm with them specifically. So like what I'm wearing, how I'm acting, you know, like actually like because also again like, and it goes back like my default is like I grew up in a female household. I was literally taught from like very young to be independent, to always cover myself. I don't
Yes.
need anyone else, you know. I know my dad and my
Slay.
mom like taught me how to like look after myself. Also, I've been living alone for a very long time. So I've always
Yeah.
like my defaults like I got it, I can take care of it. And it's like super interesting to be around guys now more often and just like being a bit more like, okay, they'll take
They can
care of
take care
it.
of something.
It's like it's very hard though because
Yes.
you have to like turn a switch off in your brain.
Because it's weird. Because
Exactly.
you feel like it's a weakness. Like I don't want to
Exactly.
rely on someone to do something,
Exactly.
but it's
But
not.
it's very, yeah, I'm still like navigating it, but yeah, I think now that I'm when I'm in like predominantly male spaces, I'm just like more conscious of like, okay, what am I wearing? How am I acting? You know, like, you know.
I get you.
But
Also,
yeah.
you touched on something interesting. It's also the industry because like
Yeah.
the I feel like me being a creative, I'm around males who are in the creative space, which is also a different energy, I think, compared to like when you were like the bros in finance and
Yeah.
stuff. There's like a different energy that we tap into. So I get what you're saying in that sense. And also when you were saying like you grew up to just be very independent, same, like my mom is like a hyper independent person,
Yes.
and I actually wanted to ask you as well like where your inspiration came from. I suppose probably like growing up with your sisters and your mom, but same, like I'm like my mom was always like hustling, like she was always like if she wanted something she was working for it and she was getting it for herself. So I also had to kind of, I was always driving my life, and I'm still driving, but like sometimes it's okay to be in the passenger seat a little bit,
Yes.
because it's like that's the point
Passenger
of life.
princess.
Yeah, with the bow in your hair. Real.
Yeah.
But who's
Same.
inspired your work ethic a lot? Like
Honestly, it's like it stems back from like my granny. My granny was
it's
like
always our
literally
grannies.
it's like in the DNA, it's like a trace of the DNA, I believe. Like
A
my
long
granny
history of
literally
winners.
so independent, like at one stage, I don't know if I should be sharing this, but like left home to go travel Europe with her kids. Yeah,
Slay.
like such a diva. And then my mom as well, like, growing up and like being in business with my dad from a very young age, always like, had like knew how to navigate it as a female. And obviously coming from like three girls in the household, you kind of like my older sister was a very big hustler, still is, like always making a path for herself, like always getting what she wants, which I love. My second sister as well. So I've literally been like, it's been in my, I think, in my genes from a very young age. And also just like, I'm very grateful for my parents for also like, teaching us to be
Yeah.
independent, never rely on anyone else. Yeah, like obviously have them, but like in general, they've like, education is like the biggest key to your life and will change everything. And so they prioritize that, and obviously, and it is like, I feel like having a good education, but also not
Yeah.
like being like, you know book smart,
Oh
but also
yeah.
street
Street
smart,
smart.
will just like change everything for you. And there's so many things I can get into from like childhood, I'm sure you've experienced
Yeah.
as well. But it really comes down to like my childhood and like growing up and being in a very female oriented household, and kind of like the lessons that my parents taught us, but then also watching my sisters kind of like grow their careers and like
Mm.
finding out like their path to success has been very interesting. So I'm kind of lucky being the youngest. I feel like
Yeah.
I saw
You
what like the recipe is, and then I
yeah.
copy and pasted it in my own like unique way.
Literally.
And it's still same as you. Like I feel like I still have so much I want to do, but I've kind of like switched that mindset of like hustle, hustle, hustle,
Oh
but
yeah.
off. So
Yeah.
I think I'm leaning more towards like the passenger princess kind of right now.
True. And that's the era that we find ourselves in right now. Or like I think that's always changing. And even for me, like I'm still navigating that. But
Yeah.
but I love that. And I love that you said it starts with your grandmother because real, like these genes, they came
Yeah.
from
No,
somewhere.
honestly,
Literally. And even
honestly.
my grandmother, she was like the first woman in her area to buy a car. She was
That's
driving. Miss
crazy. I
Girl,
love that.
yeah.
Divas, hey? They're
Literally,
such divas.
because like my grandfather died like when she was really young, so she had to like start working. She was like a dressmaker in the area. Then she like got the car, and she would
Wow.
like, and she got like all my mom and her siblings through school and stuff like that. So yeah,
Incredible.
definitely like my mom got that from her mom,
Yeah.
and now I'm there too. But I love that also we're like when you were like, oh, now you're okay with being the passenger princess. I think it's not even just that. There's so much power in being able to know that like you got it, but that you
Mm,
can also like lean on the people around you for that support. It's like,
exactly.
yeah, because sometimes like we spoke about this as well, there's like this like burnout when you exist too much in that hustle
Mm,
mindset. And it's not our natural
yeah,
design to always be in
absolutely.
that
As females,
stressy,
it's
yeah,
not. It's
literally.
really not. It's like the most anti-feminine energy to be in a hustle mode
Literally.
24/7. Yeah.
And I think like spirituality has
Yeah.
grounded us a
Oh
lot
yeah,
with
for sure.
like with so many things. And I mean that can be found through like people have so many different practices. Like for
Mm,
me, like actual meditation and like yoga and stuff like that. And for you, I
exactly.
feel like honestly, I want to get into your running a lot because I feel like that's such a big part of you and like your mindset and the way you see the world. And like tell me
Yes.
more about how you got into
Okay.
being a runner.
Being
Like
a runner. Should I run? I should a track star. So yeah, great question. And oh my gosh,
yeah.
these are like such good questions because like I feel like I'm speaking it out loud for
Yeah.
in like I don't think I've ever like said it out loud in a very long
You heard it
time.
here first.
But yeah, I love running because firstly the endorphins, like the runner's high
Love.
is unmatched. If you haven't experienced it, like go experience it. Go for like
Go
a
run.
go run. Because that runner's high is firstly unmatched. And
Yeah.
I actually think that like I firstly like, so runner's high is very important to me and keeps me grounded, keeps me sane.
Mm.
But I also like that the sport is a bit competitive.
Oh yeah.
And I
Of
like
course.
being like I like the journey of like becoming in running because I feel
Mm.
like it's a sport where like you take 2 weeks off and you're back at square one. So
Oh,
it's
interesting.
like more than just the sport, but it's like the active discipline that's like really
Mm.
I look up to a lot, and I look up to people who commit and show up every single day.
Yeah.
Even if you're not feeling your best, you show up to a sport because you know in the long run it's going to benefit you.
Yeah.
But I also like the high of like running a race and smashing a time that was once 3 months ago, like you couldn't do. So I love
Yes.
the feeling of like the
The
journey,
growth.
but then exactly the celebration.
Yeah.
And I think last year I was just in a zone where like every year I like to like really push myself out of my comfort
Mm.
zone. So like in 2 years ago I did 75 hard, which is a challenge I would also recommend if you really want to go through like a mental physical change. And each year I'm like, what am I going to do that's going to completely throw me out of my comfort zone,
I
but
love
also for
that.
physical specifically because I love
Okay.
like mental health and being fit and being active is so important for me and keeps me like so sane, so grounded. But I also just like doing hard things. Like
Oh,
I
same.
like running. Like I know that like 1% of the world's population only runs marathon, and for me, I'm like that's
You're
so
the
great
1%.
part of it. But I like really look up to that, and I love other people. I've seen people around me like commit and do it, and I'm like that's gonna be me. That's totally gonna be me. And
Yeah.
so it's really about like showing up and doing hard things and like committing to things and in the rain, in the sun, like doing it every single
During
day
Ramadan,
during
you run
Ramadan.
after
Yeah,
hours.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. When we break our fast, and obviously working towards a big goal. But I also just like that, like no one in the sport in general. It's a sport where like nobody can get it easy.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
someone who's running
Oh.
a sub 2 hour marathon, Eliud Kipchoge, he didn't wake up one day and just do it. It was months and years of training. And I like that. I like that it's one time there's a sport that like no one can get the easy way out.
I
Because
love
in a lot of things in
that.
life, people get an easy way
Yeah. And
out,
people opt for that.
Exactly. But this sport makes like kind of like really highlights to me that everybody has to put the work in. And when you're at a race for me and I'm watching someone, do a smash a time of like, you know, 45 minutes for 10K or like 1 hour 30 for a half marathon. And I look to them and I'm like, oh my God, I need to be there. I know that they
Mm.
woke up and they did the work to get there. So that's kind of like what running is for me, but I also
I
love
love
the
that.
feeling. Like it makes me feel so confident. It makes me
Yeah.
feel so good. It just makes me feel like my best self. And
I
that's why I
love
just keep
that.
going back. I have a love hate relationship with running, but I don't think I could ever leave.
It's the best type of love hate relationship that's not toxic. It's not
Exactly. I
toxic.
mean, your body like can't walk for a few days, which is like to some people. But what do
But
you
I
think
love
is
that.
like that? What for you is kind of like your running?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because like so much of what you're describing right now is like obviously with our personalities. I love that you said I love hard things because same. I love a challenge. I feel like for me, my running is my acting, because I love when you said like you love hard things because going into becoming an actor, like you just like I knew that it was a lot of work and it's like something that requires like constant
Exactly.
like time, energy, attention. And it's also one of those spaces where like the work speaks for itself. Like you only make a success out of it by putting in the hours and like it's really like I always say acting is like you it's literally like you become a fine wine, you know, like you get better with it as you get older. Like there's a role that you could get this year that you were not ready for as a human last year. So I love that journey of like I'm not a patient person in general, but I think like acting, there's like so many rewards along the way because I think like when you sign up to be an actor, you're signing up for this like this constant journey of like you never know what to expect. Right?
But I actually just need to get myself together. Wait, one
No,
second.
it's okay. Like you can actually
All I'm
laugh.
thinking
We can
about is
talk about
like,
something funny.
what I'm
Like what
thinking
are you
about is
thinking about?
what you were like. I don't know where I'm going with this. Sorry.
I
Okay.
don't know where I'm
Okay.
going
Yeah.
with this.
Let's go.
But that's the essence of my life that I don't know where I'm going with it. And I just like, and I think that's worked for me because I'm dedicated to not knowing where I'm going. You know, I give it my all because that's what's led me to like, learning more about myself. And I just basically, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think like being an actor has encouraged me to explore so many facets of myself. And also I think like it's a cool craft because it requires you to pick up new skills. Like I love when you're like with running, it's like you stay at it and like you learn and you grow. And like as an actor, there's like always something else that you feel like, okay, I need to work on this or like I need to pick this up. And I love like where there's a role and I'm like, oh, I need to like pick up a new skill for this.
Yes.
Cause like I feel like we both find so much reward in like putting ourselves through hard things and
Yes.
challenging ourselves. Cause like you come out like a different
Literally.
person.
No.
Like
Period.
you come out like magical, but like also this fire burning. I know.
Yes.
And each time you do something
Yes.
hard, it makes you like ready for that next step because you know you got through that
Exactly.
and you can do the next thing, and like you're basically unstoppable. We're
No,
basically unstoppable.
literally, we are. I love
Better
it.
watch out, world.
That's such fire that you just said.
Literally
Wow. Yeah.
fire. On that note, like, okay, we're 20
27.
something, and I just want to mainly reflect on like if you it's like if you could tell your younger self something, like a piece of advice, I feel like it would be cool to look at like specifically corporate advice and also then
Mm.
just like life advice in general. Like what are like things that stick out that you would tell yourself? Like let's start with like young Raisa entering the
Oh.
working world. What would you tell this girl?
I would tell her, honestly, I've thought about this question. I think in a
Yeah.
meditation that I do,
Love.
this is like part of it. So I would honestly tell her to, that like, don't like, what's the word? How do I phrase it? Like, just chill. Like, I know some, like growing up and stuff, you're very much like on edge. You kind of really want to make it in the world. You're a female, as we spoke about, so you have to work like extra hard, blah, 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 blah. But honestly, like life really just like works itself out. And so I would just tell her, like, just chill. Like, don't stress about the things that you believe are an issue because you'll get exactly to where you need to be. And I've had multiple like life experiences where the outcome has been so unknown and I didn't know where my life was going. And the path, like, always carved itself out. And so I am, like, such a firm believer that, like, you will always end up where you need to be. So, like, stop stressing about it. Like, just enjoy the, like, ugh, now I'm getting so philosophical and oh my God.
Enjoy the
But, like,
journey.
genuinely just, like, enjoy where you are right now because it could be the last time you're experiencing this feeling, this moment, this environment, because who knows where your life's going to take you next. So I would just tell her, like, I'd look at her and I would say, like, just chill, don't stress about school, university, getting into the degree, getting into, like, the university, getting into corporate, like, you're gonna be exactly where you need to be and it's gonna be actually quite nice. So I tell her that, yeah. What
Are
would
we
you say to
sharing a
baby
brain
cat?
cell right now? Because I this is why we're friends, because we see things so similarly. Because even with me, with where I'm at right now and everything that I've learned, I would say like, oh, make mistakes. Like,
Mm.
because I think like similar to what you're saying, it's like I was so afraid of not making mistakes,
Mm.
but where I am now, it's like nothing is a mistake. Like it's actually like reframing that perspective of like
Yes,
you always end up where you're meant to be.
exactly.
And like whatever decision that you take, it's going to enrich your life so much. Like
Mm-hmm.
even just like for example, when I moved to Cape Town, like I moved as an actor and like I was like I'm going to make it as an actor. And then like I found myself, in this like corporate space where like I didn't really know what I was doing here at first and I was like, but it ended up being such an empowering space for me as a woman, as a businesswoman,
Mm.
and as an actor. So I would say like yeah, like I like explore all the things that
Exactly.
come your way, especially like being in your 20s, because like
Yes,
you're like a sponge, you're absorbing so many skills and like you're learning so much about life and about yourself that you can
exactly.
apply to like anything. So I like when I was younger I thought like, okay, if acting is my plan A, this is the only thing that I can do.
Mm.
And now I've come to realize like I wouldn't be the actor that I am today if I didn't explore plan B, C,
Exactly.
D, all the other ones. And it's like you don't have to forsake one for the other. They all tie in so amazingly. Like we're such multifaceted people and we're in a world right now that's changing. Everything is so
Mm.
connected. And
Exactly.
it's like picking up these skills and meeting new people and being in different spaces. Oh, it's just like it's these
It's the
layers of
best.
perfection that you add to yourself. So yeah, I
Exactly.
would tell myself like just explore the path. Like don't feel like you have to choose one thing over the next. Yeah, so I love that advice that, and I think what we gave our younger selves is like advice for life and for careers.
Literally.
Like it's like
Like
you
in 10
apply
years'
it.
time, when we do another
Yeah.
podcast, we'll probably tell our 20-year-old selves, like,
Yeah.
the same advice or
Probably
probably
the same.
more.
We'll be so wise then.
Can you imagine when we get to 50, girl?
Girl, y'all better tune in for that podcast because dropping some bars. But yeah, but like Raisa, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being on this podcast. We're about to get into some spicy questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Spicy incoming call
I
questions.
love it.
So, welcome to Incoming Call. This is our saucy segment where Raisa is in the hot seat. Do you feel hot.
No, actually, very chill. That conversation was a nice, like, grounding convo. So I feel
I
very
love that.
calm.
We are earth signs, which we didn't even get
True.
into.
Oh
We have a
God,
whole podcast
part two coming.
about star signs. But I'm a Taurus and you're a Capricorn,
Capricorn.
and we're just very grounded in a cool way. So yes, so I have some intriguing questions for you. The first one that I would like to know is, what is something that you claim to hate but you secretly love?
Gosh, okay. I think that so the content creation space right now, I feel like, oh, it's so basic. Like, everybody's
Oh
a
my
content
gosh,
creator.
everyone.
It's
But
like
like,
I secretly hate it because I'm like, why is everyone trying too hard? Like, why is everyone trying to be an influencer, a content creator? Everywhere you go in Cape Town, people are like filming with their phones.
true.
But I feel like I actually like it, and I think I see a version of myself in that kind of reality of
Yes.
like if I wasn't like in corporate Ray, I think I'd be content creator
TikTok
Ray.
Ray,
Exactly. And I
100%.
I do have my own like passion for it that I do on the side. Obviously my 9 to 5 is my, full-time focus, but I like creating videos. I like working with brands. So kind of like pretend to hate it, but I actually do like it. What about you?
I love that. I love that we touched on your content because like I feel like we're both content queens and like we learn from each other, and
Yeah.
like I love your content, by the
Oh,
way.
thanks, boo.
And we are both very immersed in the content space. So I also think like if you weren't in the corporate space, like you would be like the biggest content creator of our
Really? Oh
time.
my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay,
I
I'll take
mean,
that as a
yeah.
sign.
So like you can do both anyway. Like you're still I love your content that you're doing in addition to like being in corporate. And
Thank
people
you.
are eating that content up. Like Amazon tour. Let's go through it. But yeah. Okay. Something that I hate that but I secretly love. I don't even know if I have a deep answer to this. Like the first thing that came up to me for me was coffee. I'm kidding.
Really?
Because I never used to like coffee, but I secretly like it now. Don't tell anyone. But no, like okay, what is like something else? Mm, Oh, I think in general, like the work that I do, like the corporate businessy work that
Mm,
I do, I never claimed to hate it, but I was always like, oh, this isn't my passion.
mm,
It's definitely my passion. I've been
yeah.
in it for so long, and like I wouldn't be the same person that I am without it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, it's such a hustle, but I actually like really love the structure that it brings.
Mm,
Like I love being an artist, but also still having like the day-to-day thing of like, oh, I'm adding value to something. And I think like sometimes acting is very like centered around yourself as it needs to be. But the work that I do in like business and in corporate spaces is able to be more fulfilling because it impacts the next person and it like uplifts content creators. So that's exciting. Should I ask the question
yeah.
again? Yeah. Okay. So, what is a voicemail from yourself that you're avoiding listening to right now? So, basically, like if the audience was watching the movie of your life, like what do they want to tell you?
Crazy. I think for me, it would be like the things that I'm fearing the most to do in my life and the next steps where I'm feeling like I'm comfortable and I don't want to go into it because I know I'll be uncomfortable. There'll be so many things that will be unknown to me. I think that's something that I like don't want to take the move right now, and I'm kind of avoiding it because I'm like I'm kind of happy where I am right now. I don't want to change. I don't want like things to be up in the air. But I do know that's where
Mm,
my biggest like change is going to come next in life, is that like I just need to tap into the fear, I need to tap into the unknown and let it all like paint the picture for me. So, yeah.
that is
What
so
about you?
true. So similar because I think like so I had two voicemails. I just opened one of them, which is
Mm.
why we're sitting here right now on this podcast because I had like all these ideas that like I really wanted to share through my creative pursuits because I feel like I love using my voice. It's like it's really my power where my spirit is able to shine through and like share a bigger message. And for some reason, like sometimes, like my like someone told me like sometimes like if your pursuit is so big and there's so much light and goodness
Mm.
that can come out of it, that can be scary because it's like it feels like it's such a big thing. But I was like, you know what? I have to just start somewhere. So I'm happy that I'm channeling that into a lot of the creative pursuits that I wanted to do and like tapping into sharing that light without seeing it as like something scary. Yes, it's gonna be something that makes you stand out, but that doesn't need to be scary. Like
Mm.
that's your space, that's your platform that you need to use for that reason. But something that I still have to deal with in my voicemail is tapping into other things like that that scare me. I mean, I just spoke to you just now about just like other decisions that I'm trying to make in my life, like that require change. And it might not be, like it might not be that I'm in the city that I love all the time, or that I'm around the people that I love all the time. But I know that like being out of your comfort zone is where that growth happens. And we said
100%.
we love being uncomfortable. And it's like, I know that I've done it before. And I'm also very aware that right now, like, I think my body needed to be like in a sense of like groundedness and contentment for a little while, but I can't stay in it.
No, absolutely.
I don't think the next chapter happens from being in that all the time.
100%.
Yeah, literally.
100%. Yeah.
So I love that. Also, I mean, on a side note, like, I think the voicemail that I'm not opening, probably from you and a lot of my friends right now, is like, don't put your energy where it's not reciprocated.
Period.
Yeah.
Because a
So
lot of the times we can see it, but you can't because you're in
yeah,
it. So when people say it to you, like if you value their opinion, like most of the time they're actually right.
that's a big lesson. We will learn more about that one as Katishka grows on life. Um, and oh yes. So what is the biggest ick that you get from like when you're getting to know a new person? Like, what is an ick for you?
Having to talk to them like 24/7.
Oh my gosh, literally.
Like, I don't want to reply to you for like 2 days.
And that's
I don't
how
want to
our
make
friendship
plans. Yeah.
works.
And honestly, that's why our friendship works because, like, we don't speak to each other every single day. We
Yeah.
speak to each other when, like, intuitively we're like, okay, no, I need to
Yes.
message you. We need to go make plans. Of course, we're still going to make an effort because we value each other.
Yes.
But, like, our friendship's not based on, like, texting
No.
24/7, you know?
And it's like if you can't make a plan,
It's so
it's so
chill.
chilled. Like
Yeah.
it's and that's what we said as well. Like sometimes with especially female relationships, there's a lot of expectation of like, oh my gosh, do you hate me now because you didn't message me every day? Like no, like we're busy. And we were
Exactly.
just saying like I love that we're both busy because that's also why our friendship works. It's like we're busy, we're working. It's like we know that there's a care for each
Yeah.
other.
Exactly.
It doesn't need to be shown through like, oh my gosh, you're texting me all the time,
Yeah.
or like
100%. Agreed.
yeah.
100%.
I love that.
Same.
Do I have the same ick? I think one of my icks is like people who always want to talk about other people. Yeah.
Oh my god, like we're not doing that energy in 2025. Like, come
No.
on, let's grow up.
Yeah, I just don't have the energy for to judge the next person. We're on our own journey. Like what
Literally.
someone else is doing really does not affect your life
Yeah, literally.
at
Like,
all.
why you? Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly. Agreed.
Amazing. Um, oh, okay. Wait, I don't know if I want to ask that one. That's random.
Okay.
Have you ever ghosted someone who actually didn't deserve it? I mean,
No.
no, neither have I. Okay.
Let's go
Oh,
next.
okay. Let's do this one. Okay. So, like, picture this. Mercury is in
No.
retrograde
Get me the fudge out of here.
and life is lifing. And like you need to call someone. Who are you calling?
Hmm. Good one. I think it's a good question. I don't know if I'd
Yeah.
actually call anyone.
True. I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like I like to go through my stuff
Oh my
alone
gosh,
in a
same.
weird. I don't know. If it's, I don't think this is the healthiest way, so I wouldn't recommend like isolating yourself. But I feel like when I'm going through something, like I am probably like the worst person to be talking to because I'm so snappy. I'm so irritated. Like you can see it in my energy. You can feel it. I'm sure you can feel it specifically because we're very
We're
sensitive to
very similar,
energies.
yeah.
But I just want to kind of like go through the emotions by
You want to
myself.
process it yourself,
Exactly. And
yeah.
I'm old enough to know how to deal with it.
Oh
So
yeah.
like when I'm in that state, I'm gonna go for a run. I'm gonna go like sauna at the gym. I'm gonna eat good food. I'm gonna like move my body. I'm gonna really ground myself in like meditation, prayer, all that stuff. But yeah, I feel like I don't really like call people in the moment because I like to just like process the emotions and like deal with it. And then honestly, like a day later, I'm so fine and I'll happily talk about it to like friends,
Yeah.
family. But in those like really ugh
The
moments,
worst, yeah.
I'm probably just like gonna keep to myself, you know?
Same. We're so similar with how we process things. I'm just realizing this now. Like, are we sisters? Yes.
We probably are.
Literally, because yeah, when I'm like in the pits of it, I want to sit with that myself. Because also, like, genuinely, I think it's good to lean on people, but you have to help yourself out of those situations.
Exactly.
And you're right, like we've developed tools now to know what we need in these moments. So like, yes, like even for me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna listen to like calming music, I'm gonna like maybe do creative work. Like journaling really helps me. Like I'm just
Yes.
like channeling it through my creative work. And I also only prefer to talk about it when I'm not like wallowing in it, when I'm
Yes.
rather like, oh,
Out of it.
I've learned this from this
Exactly.
experience. Yeah.
Same. Literally
That's why
same.
people are always like, oh, you're so happy all the time. And I'm like, it's the happiest people who process things. And then they like, when you talk about it, it doesn't need to like, I don't know. I don't want to bring people down with talking about it. Like, yes, like we can have deep conversations about it. But yeah, it's like, okay, we need to have like a lesson out of it. Who you gonna call if you just completed like a marathon or a race and like you're
Actually,
excited?
my sister. I called
Oh,
my sister last year because I didn't get the time I wanted.
oh,
And I was so sad. And she was like the first person I thought about. So I literally called her and I was like crying. I was like, I'm so sad I didn't get it. And she really was like,
oh,
dude, like, what the hell? So I
yeah,
probably would call my sister because I feel like my siblings are very much like on the journey with me. Like they know everything.
yeah.
They're backing me from like they both live in London, so they're backing me from London. And so I probably call them because I feel like they share my success, my victory from miles away. You know.
I love that. I haven't run a race yet. Yet. Maybe race, I would say.
Yes, absolutely. This is the year.
Yeah, but I resonate with that like when it's career related stuff as well, like especially with my acting, like my brother's the first person I call because
Yeah.
like your siblings you literally walk life with
No,
you, like they're
literally
literally
from
your
a
day
mile
ones for a
away. Yeah,
reason. Like they know you better, even better than your parents would know you, obviously, because
absolutely.
they just get you.
Mm.
Okay, so oh okay, if you needed like urgent fashion advice, like
Ooh, so I'd actually call my older sister.
mm,
Um, always texting her, love her fashion, so always texting her, always asking for a second opinion. So marathon, I would call my second sister, and then fashion advice, I'd call my older sister.
I would 100% call my brother. He's a fashion designer, so it's a no-brainer. And he's brutally honest, you know. He will
Exactly.
literally be like, "Girl, that
Mm.
was in 5 years ago."
I
Are we
love
bringing it
it.
back? No. Literally.
Oh, that's
Oh
funny.
yes. Who would you call if you wanted a spontaneous trip overseas? Me.
You!
When are we going to
Literally.
Paris?
Girl, when
That's
are we
I
going?
maybe next week.
You never know. We
You
might
never
be
know.
in
We might be
Paris. Stay
podcasting from
tuned.
Paris next week.
Exactly.
Yeah, Raisa, thank you so much. Like, I'm
Thank you.
so glad we had this
Space.
insightful space to
Thank you
talk
for
about stuff.
creating it. Yeah.
Thank you. And guys, if you want to tune in to more content like this, please do subscribe. So many more deep chats that we take from our personal space in life to this space so that we can all have the conversation together. You know
See
what
you
to
in the next
do.
one.
Call us.
Call your friend.